Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dig into something really interesting today. We're doing a deep dive on a story, and honestly, it sounds a little unbelievable at first.
Yeah, definitely an attention grabber.
We're talking turning $150, that's right, $150, into a $2 million a year business.
$2 million a year.
And the real kicker, our entrepreneur, we're just going to call him Joseph for this deep dive, did it all with AI.
And that's what everyone wants to know about these days.
Right,
Yeah.
but I bet you're thinking, okay, do I need to be some kind of tech genius to make that happen?
Yeah, you and everybody else. Well, that's where Joseph's story gets really interesting.
Because he didn't start out as a coding whiz?
Not at all. In fact, it's fascinating how little technical experience he actually had. The domain name itself, Stealth GPT, that was only $150.
Talk about low overhead.
Exactly. Really makes you rethink what you need to get started in the AI world.
Okay, so $150, a catchy name, and a dream. Sounds simple, but I'm guessing it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Joseph.
You're right about that. This wasn't his first rodeo. He had a pretty rough go in the cryptocurrency world before hitting it big with Stealth GPT.
Ah, the wild world of crypto. What happened?
Well, he dove headfirst into that whole craze like a lot of people did, but then he got slammed with a $150,000 penalty during a market crash.
Ouch. Talk about a hard lesson.
Seriously. But here's the thing, that failure, it was a turning point for him.
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs will tell you the same thing, by the way.
I was just going to say some of the most successful people I know have a whole string of failures in their past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what was it about this particular experience, the crypto crash, that shaped Joseph's next move? That's what I think is really interesting. What did he learn?
Exactly. So what did he learn? What sent him in the direction of Stealth GPT?
It forced him to pump the brakes a little. He had to take a step back and think about the bigger picture instead of just chasing the next get-rich-quick scheme. He started focusing on finding a real problem that needed a solution. And that's what led him to Stealth GPT. He was paying attention to how AI tools were exploding, ChatGPT, things like that. And he realized with all this AI-generated writing popping up, there's got to be a new challenge coming along with it, AI detection. He saw all these people using AI for writing and realized there was this whole other thing popping up alongside it, AI detection tools, and a need for text that could fly under the radar.
So he saw an opportunity basically where everyone else saw a problem.
Exactly. Like everyone else was trying to make AI writing better, and he was thinking, what if you don't want to detect it? It's kind of like finding the one place everyone's looking for a secret back entrance, and he realized, hey, I could build that door.
I like the way you think. So how does someone with, and we're talking pretty minimal coding experience here, right? How does someone with almost no coding experience go from that realization to actually creating an AI tool? Did he bring in a bunch of programmers and developers? What did that look like?
That's the best part. He basically taught himself to code.
Yeah.
Just dove in head first. Yeah. Online courses, those coding boot camps you see advertised, forums, the guy just threw himself into the world of programming.
Wow. Okay, so talk about dedication, right? It seems like everybody thinks you need this super expensive computer science degree to even think about this stuff.
And it's just not true. Joseph's story proves that you don't have to have years of experience to get involved in the tech world. You just got to know where to look for resources.
Totally. But okay, building it is one thing. How do you get people to actually use Stealth GPT? Was that the next hurdle?
He knew he couldn't just build it and assume people would come running, right? He had to validate this whole thing first, make sure it was actually something people wanted to use. Ever heard of Futurepedia?
Can't say that I have. What is it?
So Futurepedia, it's like this platform, but specifically for AI tools. People creating new tools like Joseph, they can showcase them there. And it connects them with people who are, actively looking to try out new AI stuff.
So like a launching pad for new AI projects.
Exactly. He was able to put Stealth GPT right in front of the people who'd be most interested.
That's smart.
And he didn't stop there. He offered free trials to those early users.
Okay, that makes sense. Let people try it before they buy it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's even smarter than that. First, it gave him a way to get feedback from actual users, people actually using the tool, seeing how it worked.
Yeah.
But it also created buzz.
Word of mouth, right?
Exactly. People try something, they like it, they tell their friends. It's way more powerful than just talking about how great your product is. He let people see it for themselves.
Makes sense. But even with a great product, even if people are starting to talk about it, it's still tough to break through all the noise online. How did he go from early adopters to, a larger audience? Did he run ads or?
This is where his marketing strategy gets really interesting, especially if you're working with a tight budget. He didn't shell out a ton of cash for some fancy ad campaign. He focused on user-generated content, things like that.
So instead of telling everyone how great Stealth GPT is, he let his users do the talking for him.
Exactly. He was using platforms like TikTok and Instagram, showing real people using Stealth GPT, getting results. It's way more relatable. Someone scrolling through their feed, seeing someone just like them, talking about how this tool is changing their business.
Oh, absolutely. So much more powerful than just some random ad. But did he just stick with that organic approach, or did he eventually invest in, like Google ads, that sort of thing?
So he did incorporate some paid advertising, but only after Stealth GPT was already gaining traction. He had the user testimonials, he had a strategy that was clearly working, then he brought in Google ads to reach a wider audience, people actively searching for something like Stealth GPT.
Really strategic, building on his success. But the million-dollar question, pun intended, did it work? How's Stealth GPT doing now?
Well, remember that initial $150 investment? Get this. Stealth GPT is bringing in about $200,000 a month now.
Wait, are you serious? $200,000 a month?
Yep.
That's insane. Talk about turning things around from a crypto crash to an AI success story. What's he doing with all that profit?
Well, I'm sure he's enjoying some of it, but he's also being smart, reinvesting a good chunk of it back into the business. He's thinking long-term, making sure Stealth GPT is sustainable, not just a flash in the pan.
That's awesome, actually, reinventing those profits, keeping the momentum going. So what's the key takeaway here? What can our listeners learn from Joseph's story?
It's really a powerful reminder, especially now, that there are amazing opportunities out there. You just have to be willing to look for them. Joseph saw a problem, took the initiative to learn new skills, and he built something that people actually needed.
And he did it all without a massive budget, too.
Right. You don't necessarily need a fancy degree or a ton of money to make an impact. It's more about being willing to learn, to adapt, and to never stop exploring those what-if moments. You never know where they might lead.
That's a great place to wrap up, I think. This was a fantastic deep dive, really inspiring stuff. And listeners, we want to hear from you. What opportunities are you exploring? Head over to our social media. Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time.